back. So what we're going to do today is to single-hand this boat, which I've done many times, but I want to put it on video so you can see exactly how easy it is or hard it is to do this single-handed. So let's get going. Head to wind right now. So just to minimize the problems later on, I'm going to hoist them in now. Okay, so it's close now and I have a mark on the sheet so I know where the limit is. Okay, all set with instruments there. Okay, so now I'm gonna let the bow lines off. We still have spring lines, so we're not going to leave the dock. And now I undo the stern lines, just leaving the spring line on. That'll be the last thing, and that allows the boat to be centered, so it doesn't go sideways on the dock before I leave. When I do the stern line, it's going to be quick because I got to be ready to go with the stern line. Now the wind shifted, so you can see the main is no longer head to wind. So that's kind of a pain, but no problem as long as I don't hit this other boat. Okay, engine's on. Water's coming out from the side, so everything's good. Make sure the main is uncleated. Clutch is open there. You gotta leave the main uncleated if you're gonna go with the main up, so that when I turn over there, it's not gonna catch wind. Okay, I'm no longer attached to the dock, so I'm free now. Going forward. You don't want to go forward too slowly so you have the ability to turn. Okay, pushing the engine there, turn faster. All set. Now I'm clear. Main is loose right now. You're watching for traffic. Hard to do by yourself. I don't see anything. Checking for little boats. I don't see anything. Okay. I think we're good here. Oh, there is a boat. But far enough. Okay. Okay. Kind of speeding up a little bit to get away from that boat. Now as I turn the corner here, the wind is going to come from the other side, so that main is going to jibe. There we go, it's jibing now. There's some wind. Not too bad, 6 knots. Well, that's bad, it's not enough wind, but good for solo sailing. No stress. Okay, I'm gonna put this on auto. Okay, so I put the autopilot on auto. Then I'm gonna sheet in the main. There we go. There's the boat behind me. Okay, no drama so far. Now I gotta put my fenders away. I'm not going to take it off because when you're single-handed, you don't have time to put it back on and off. Okay, that's it. Now, it seems kind of complicated, but it's not. When you know what you're doing, it's very simple. I just know by instinct what's going to happen. So, no big deal. But, you know, it's kind of rushed at the beginning because you're by yourself. Otherwise, look, I'm already off. I just have to put the jib up. When I'm out on the ocean, that's it. Easy. Single handing is possible because of the autopilot. If I didn't have the autopilot here, that would have been a pain because I can't leave the wheel. Right now, mostly when you're single-handing, you don't have to worry about the wheel. You just point it, and you're good to go. So there's time to relax. Not a small boat, you know, it's close to 40 feet, almost 40 feet, and it's makes it very wide. It's a very wide boat, so it's not that easy to maneuver, you know, in tight spaces. And the problem is, you know, there's a lot of paddle boarders and other boats, and there's no one around to look out for you. So you kind of have to do it all yourself. So that's the only complication. It's a bigger boat, but everything is electric here, so there's really no physical difference. It's not a physical thing, it's more mental. Wind is very moderate. It's like 7 or 8 knots, 7 to 9 knots. So, not a problem right now. See, I don't even have to do anything. I'm not driving, kind of driving itself. So I just pay attention to the traffic. Okay, I'm going to increase the speed a little bit here. So we're now in the main channel. So the speed limit is higher, so no need to be slow. This is the upwind part of the channel, and normally this is when we raise the main. But I don't have to raise the main now because I already did that and I don't have to worry about it. But now I can just relax and pay attention to the traffic. So that's why I try to raise the main before I get here. That's the first opportunity that I have to catch the wind. I'm going to overtake a boat here. moving slower than me. My jib sheet ready, so later on I don't have to think about it. This is the furling line that's already free, so I thought about everything ahead of time. But the most important thing with single handling is to come up with a system. You gotta think everything through, every step, and if you know that, then it's pretty easy. So then I'm ready with the jib sheet's ready. You see, I got everything figured out in advance. It's really very little stress. And then I can relax when the jib is up. A lot of boats. Lots of traffic. That boat is kind of pointing at me. There's one coming across. It's okay, everything's good. 11, 12 knots of wind. Very nice. Sea state, 3 to 4 feet. No problem. Nice sunny day. I'm gonna avoid the traffic. I'm gonna head up first before I put up the jib. The way I'm going to do this is set the autopilot to wind vane type. Okay, now stop the engine, then I'm going to put up the jib. Now I may have to avoid that boat there. But I'll just try to race him. I have to keep an eye on the furler line to make sure it doesn't jam. What jib is coming out? Okay, that looks like that's good for now. Trimming the main a little bit. Okay, that's good for now. So there's the boat pretty close to me right now. It's almost like racing distance. Yeah, they're all pretty close. I'm going 6 knots now. So I'm gonna pass that boat there. I'm not going as fast as I should be. I should be going up there. 7 knots by now. Maybe not. So you can see, even single handling, I can pass that boat. Another boat up ahead there. So, yeah. It's about, 10 knots of wind around, and we're going 6 knots. So it's not bad. But I think this boat starts to go to 7 knots when you get to like 13. So we're close to that. But when it goes to 13 knots, it starts to max out. Okay, they're far behind now. Just have to have the skills. I'm not even driving the boat, it's really the autopilot. So I just configure the sails and I know what to do, and then the autopilot actually does the driving. So, easy. Might even catch up to that boat ahead. It's a big boat. Looks like a 50-footer. So, I shouldn't be able to pass that guy, but maybe I'm a better sailor. Who knows? I'm in the front here. It's all clear. Looking at the traffic here, there's nothing on the other side. That's the most important thing, is to look around. And all clear over here. Nothing in the way. I guess I'm not catching up to that 50-footer. Hard to beat a 50-footer. I didn't know how to do, like, have the autopilot sail to the wind. Usually I just have it set to a compass heading, and This one, it actually watches the apparent wind and just sticks to whatever angle you set it to. And I found I can actually tweak it. I'm like adding a percent, a degree here and there. So I can, it was kind of pitching, and then I let it go a little bit, and it's over 6 knots now with the same wind. So it's pretty good. So makes it easy. You can actually, sounds like you can actually race with this. I'm going to prepare to tack the boat. So I'm going to move the lines to the opposite side. I'm going to put the jib over here, so that's ready. It looks like the same boat. We're 12 knots, 12.5 knots, and the boat is going at 6.5 to almost 7 knots. So that's what I notice about this boat. It likes like 13 knots where it really performs. So that's like the magic number, 13 knots. Now I'm like passing everyone now. Some boats were passing me, and then when it went to 13 knots, like the boat took over. I got a collision course there. There's the boat on starboard tack. So he heads right away. So we have to be ready to make a move here. I was gonna tack anyway, so I might tack. It comes too close. Avoiding me, so we're good. I'm gonna tack the boat now. Now tacking on this boat on autopilot apparently means clicking a couple of buttons, so I've not tried that before, so I'm gonna try it now. Oops. Here it is. Okay, now take it off standby. I'm going to head down. Set it to auto. Ease the jib. Okay, and I'm going to use the main. Okay, that's approximately good. So we'll see what happens. I have a small jib off, so we're going 7.3 knots. Not bad at all. I don't even have the code 0 off. So it's just the jib, just the blade jib, and we're going 7.5. So pretty good. Seas are still about 3 to 4 feet, and wind has picked up to about 14 knots. So that's why we're going over 7 knots. Very pleasant. So we're a couple more miles away, and then in the channel I'm gonna like do things ahead of time. You'll see. I'm not going to wait at the last minute to do things. There's oncoming traffic aiming right at me, but I have right away. I'm on starboard tack, so he's supposed to give way. I gave him some room, gave him like 10 degrees, and then I'll head down when it's close by. I gave him some room, gave him like 10 degrees, and then I'll head down when it's close by. Look at that, 7.8, 7.5, 7.5 to 7.8 knots. So I gave that boat some way, some space. Okay, just getting ready for putting it away. So here, we're gonna furl the jib when I get into the harbor. So, getting this all set now. Inside the harbor. Just watching for traffic. I don't normally have to be on engine, but just, you know, it's kind of a safe maneuver when you're coming in alone. You know, you never know with this traffic, so I'm going to take the sail down when I'm kind of free of traffic. Okay, I'm going to jibe the main just by turning the boat. There we go. Just makes it easier. I don't have to worry about it later. I'm going to furl the jib, so I'm easing it off here. And I'm just going to hold on to this for tension. And then I'm going to furl from here. Okay, so that's it there. Okay, so now I'm on motor. Main's up, but that has to be taken down later. So I'm gonna go to the motoring lane here because I'm no longer sailing. And then, yeah, and then I'll just find a spot later on to drop the main, and that's it, and then dock. Tight, but it's okay. That's a nice full sail. Very easy. So you can see I don't even have to do any kind of physical work. So just have to get near my dock, take the main down, and then the hardest part is to dock it. That's probably the most difficult when you're single-handing, but I got a system, so that should be okay. So I'm going to take the sail down. It's on autopilot. Just going to drop it. And the secret is to just drop it fast. So I'm just gonna well, it kind of got hung in there, but that's good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna trim the main, clean it up. I forgot to put down the fenders. Okay, so this is the big job, is to back it in. So I have to reverse it. and there's some wind, so it's more difficult. So I have to kind of come in hot. So I just turned off the engine. It's in neutral. It's kind of a hot entry. Okay, perfect. If you can just hand me that dock line there. Yeah, thank you.
You're going in.
Yeah, that's okay. That's good. No problem from here. You can leave it. I just use this. I don't leave the boat then. It's all simple. Thank you.
Sure.
Kind of a hot angle there. Okay, so the primary thing I do usually just put the spring lines on, and that's it. When the spring lines are on, you're stable. So I just did it all because somebody helped me, but usually I don't even bother with that. I just do the spring line, then I can do everything in slow motion. So that's it. That's for this experience of single handling. See you next time.